Going on. You see the Go Big event yesterday, and so many fighters and so many titles on the line. How did you want to be involved?
Obviously I want to fight sooner rather than later, but I'm sure we'll figure it out here soon. And hopefully they'll announce a fight for me. It's kind of cool they're doing the seasons now. I mean, they always got these big reveals and all the fights lined up, and I think it's a real cool deal they're doing.
So what's the next game plan for you? I mean, everybody's talking about, like I said, there's so many title fights.
Yeah.
And what's next for you?
I'm hoping Cruz. I'm waiting for him to get healthy, and that's the fight I want. I mean, obviously nothing's been announced, but I think he's the one that's going to build my name the biggest, and I think it makes sense.
When you say you're waiting, how long, will you wait for that fight before you think it's time to get back in there?
I won't wait forever, that's for sure. Who knows if he's even going to be able to get healthy? I mean, the guy's always hurt, it seems like. So, keep my fingers crossed, and hopefully it happens soon.
Have you been offered anything in the interim, or are you purposely waiting to see when Cruz gets healthy?
No, I haven't. I bet that's the plan. That's what it seems like. I don't know if I can really even say, but it seems like that's what's going to happen. Wait for Cruz. I think that's the fight that makes sense. Since I was hurt as well, I'd love to get that fight back, and he's got to get healthy too. So really, there's no one in line right now. I'm just going to have to play the waiting game.
So how are you enjoying the break then? Because if you got two guys on the sidelines, it doesn't seem like there's much for you to do.
I'm always in the gym, man. I'm staying active. I've been more busy lately than I've ever been in my career. So it's been good. A lot of media obligations, and I'm doing some seminars and staying as active as possible. And I don't mind it.
Has it been a tough adjustment for you? Because before, when you don't have a belt, not as much is expected of you. And now do you feel the weight of the crown?
Definitely how busy I am. It weighs you down a little bit, but you gotta have fun with it. That was the goal, was to be where I'm at now. And now that I'm here, I gotta soak it up.
You see a guy like DJ, and there's not, always an obvious opponent for him. Mm-hmm. Does it worry about you? Does that worry you at all? Because you just did say that, there's not anyone right now who's waiting in the wings for a title shot.
Not really, man, because there always will be. I mean, I haven't fought all the guys in my weight class. He's got a very, very small weight class. So there's definitely going to be guys that are going to be ready to fight. Just right now at this time, I think the two guys that actually make sense are injured. So I feel like this will be the only time I'm really going to have to wait like this. And, it's only been a month since my fight, so I really haven't had to wait really yet. But we'll see how long I'm going to have to wait.
Faber was saying that you were down to the TUF house, and you and McGregor were having a little bit of...
Yeah.
How was that?
I don't think there's a fighter that McGregor doesn't have beef with these days. It was cool. I mean... he's a smart guy. He's fun. He knows how to market himself. He's trying to get under Uriah's skin by saying that I'm a traitor and I'm, his enemy. I think it's the only thing he had against Uriah, and so he harped on it a lot. But he's kind of got to laugh that guy off a little bit. He's all talk. I think he's more interested in how much money he's making now than actually getting better in the sport.
So are you the snake in the grass, TJ?
No, not at all, man. Absolutely not.
How do you think that fight's gonna go, like between McGregor and Aldo?
Oh, I see Aldo winning the fight. I think he's got, McGregor's real confident, but I think he's got his hands full when it comes to the fight. Aldo's pound for pound best in the world, and he's definitely shown it time and again.
What do you think about when he's talking about how his numbers are better than all y'all numbers when it comes to the money side, the business side of things? Does that bother you when he's calling out loud saying, "Oh, your numbers are beauty compared to mine"? And all
well, I mean, it's hard to argue. I mean, he had more guys at Wayne's than I think I did in my fight in Sacramento. That was crazy. But like I said, though, he's a little bit too worried about how much money he's making and not actually getting better in the sport, I feel. And that's a little annoying when it comes to it. I mean, especially from a fan of the sport. I'm more into the guys that are, humble and wanting to be a professional in this sport, and he's just all worried about the money.
Would you move up to shut him up?
Oh, I would love that fight. That would be amazing. That would be something I would love to do.
You also were talking about fighting Aldo for quite some time in the past. Is something that you still want to do?
I mean, obviously, I would love these fights. It's all about all about the timing and if it can happen, and if the UFC lets it happen. Because I would love any of those. I mean, I want to be pound for pound best in the world, and he's on top of that list.
You seem like you have a sense of humor about the McGregor stuff a little bit.
Yeah.
But looking, I'm not a body language reader here, but some of the other fighters on stage yesterday looked, kind of sick of it. Do you get a sense that that it's changing a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I saw Cerrone, I think, before he went and did the event. He's pretty pissed off about it, and there's definitely some guys that he's getting under their skin a lot, I laugh the guy off. I try to stay as professional as possible. I'm not going to get into that game of talking trash with him. And if you're going to argue with him, it's almost like a grade school argument. It's whoever talks louder and the longest is going to win that one. He doesn't let anybody ever talk, and Yeah, it's just not my style.
What you learned from him by being with him in the Ultimate Fighter house?
Not much, man. He was hardly there. He didn't really even show up. He was just there for the weigh-ins and fights. It seemed like, he wasn't there for his team at all. I learned that he's like I said, smart about marketing himself. He's doing good at that, and he's, like he says, got those numbers.
Do you want to coach a future season?
I would love to, yeah.
Have you already expressed that to the?
I told him, and then the producer of the show too as well. Is like, when are we going to get you on here? And I told him I'd already been wanting to do it, and I think it'd be a lot of fun. I think I'd be good at it. I think I'd be a good coach for the season.
Opposite Cruz, I imagine, or is there another name? Like, a lot of fans wanted to see you against Frankie Edgar.
Yeah, that's fighting a legend. That'd be amazing. I'm hoping Cruz gets back sooner than that, sooner than us being able to coach the season. That'd be a long layoff for me, so I'm hoping he gets back sooner than that.
Would that be surreal for you since you've been on the show and been a competitor, kind of like going full circle?
That would be real crazy, man. I've got to help out coaching the season twice, and that was even pretty cool for me when Uriah coached it. But it'd be real cool to have my own team, have my name on the jerseys, and it'd be pretty cool.
How does it feel to finally put Barao back in the past?
Feels good, not all my questions are about Barao anymore for the last, year and a half, it seems like. So it does feel good, and especially to do it the way I did, I feel real good about it.
After your last fight, how is the environment between Alpha Male and your coach, Duane?
That's a tough situation, and I think things got blown out of proportion, and it definitely didn't help that the media got involved with it too, Duane sometimes he regrets what he says. He talks a little bit faster than he thinks, and he just got kind of, I think he got a little mixed up, So it is a tough situation. Not everyone, is a big fan of Duane, that alpha male these days, but it doesn't change what me and him got going on.
When you talk about marketability, and we talk about Conor McGregor and how he sells fights, a fight with you and Cruz it has a lot of potential for some going back and forth. Do you see that drawing a lot of fans in just because of the potential smack talk?
Yeah, that and just the fact of, I think, the prestigious fight. He was the champion, was out due to injury, and he was the champion when I even thought about getting in the sport. And so I think it'd be a great story and be a great hyped up fight. I'm real pumped about it. I think the numbers should do good.
Do you feel that you have to represent Alpha Male since he kind of calls out your gym with the team Alpha Fail and all that stuff?
I don't feel like I have to, but I want to. It's really not that big a deal to me, but it'd be nice to get that win back for our team. Just winning in general feels good. So
you think you need that for your legacy?
What's that?
You think you need it for your legacy?
Absolutely, I want it for my legacy. Everything. I don't really think I need anything, but all these things I want. I want to beat Cruz. I think he's the biggest one for me to fight right now, and that's the biggest name for me.
Obviously, that's the biggest name out there for you right now, and,
Yeah.
and Dom's the guy that you've been talking about since you got this belt, even before that. If he can't come back, there's not really anybody else. Rafael Assunção's kind of hurt. Would you be opposed to the UFC sort of doing a little bit of what they did with you and sort of pushing somebody like Aljamain Sterling, Thomas Almeida up the ranks a little bit quicker than maybe you're ready for?
I definitely want to fight. That's the only way I get paid, and I want to continue to build my name and have good performances, and the only way I can do that is by fighting. So yeah, I have no problem with it. Obviously I do want those big names, but I don't have a problem fighting whoever the UFC puts in front of me.
There's been a few other champions and a few other guys speaking your name lately the last couple of days, saying you're a fight they want.
Yeah.
You're a fight they look for. If you can't get that Cruz fight, and it's a little early for maybe you to be moving around, but is that something you'll kind of push for?
The timing seems right, for me, because of the fact that I do have to wait. So that's definitely something I would push for. Yeah, that'd be huge. That'd be really, really cool.
You had no hesitation at all when we asked you, between McGregor and Aldo. You like Aldo, but why? What is it that you feel so sure about?
Aldo's been tested. He's been consistent. He's a great fighter. I feel that McGregor's fought in one tough guy, and he was on 10 days' notice. Not one tough guy. Every guy he fights is tough, but to the caliber of championship. Mendez showed some big holes in his game, and I'm hoping Aldo pays attention to that. And just the fact, ever since the fight was going to happen the first time, I had the feeling that Aldo's the better fighter.
What about the layoff for Aldo? It's been...
It always seems like he's got a pretty long layoff.
Yeah.
He's always dealing with injuries and wants to fight in Brazil, and he's always got a long layoff. So I think he'll do fine with it.
What's more realistic, you going to 45 or 25? And I ask because Chad has said that he would one day want to try 35, but his teammates there.
Yeah,
you felt like you could make 25. Is it as easy as he's making it sound?
I definitely could. I don't really want to, especially with this new IV ban now too. I think cutting weight's going to be a real big issue. So I would rather probably be easier to bump up to 45s. I mean, it'd be more like natural, you know. But I could make. I'm a small 35er. I feel I can make 25s.
And if you ever super fight, the talk is, you know, Mighty Mouse, he wants a $2 million fight. But how about the fact that if Dodson wins tonight, getting one back, kind of killing two birds with one stone, does that interest you too, or is it more about Mighty Mouse and as great of a fighter he is? He's kind of had the bigger profile.
Yeah, he does. I mean, I think he's a better fighter too. You know, I mean, he's the bigger name, better fighter. But it would be nice to get that Dodson fight back as well. I think I'm obviously a completely different fighter than when he saw me. You know, so young then, and you know, I feel it was stopped a little early, so I got finishing up on that fight as well. But I think Mighty Mouse would be the better name to fight, you know, just because of the fact of who he is on the pound for pound list as well.